Millions of viewers at home.
Millions.
Literally some number of millions. 0 is a number of millions.
0.00005 is the number of millions.
All right, I've got my.
Can you imagine being one of those popular streamers?
Oh gosh,
like, I just couldn't even.
Please no.
I couldn't do it. I hate it.
Want to become famous? Hello, Hudson.
Hudson is our devout companion.
Yes.
Our devout audience.
Doing well, Hudson. How are you doing tonight? We're getting all our rule books loaded up here. No. Absolutely not. Okay, so this time, apparently I had access to it last time, and we just never used it. But the iron progress roll command is available for when we are ready to make a progress roll, and that way we don't have to ignore the left number. It will just actually be correct.
Miracles.
I know, it's incredible what you can do with modern technology. So let's see here. Make sure I've got all that. Iron progress, iron roll, iron re-roll, because some of your abilities let you re-roll dice occasionally. So we do have a command for that as well. Are the contestants fighting to the death today? I mean, they could be fighting for their lives, which could in fact be their death. Yeah, let's be ready for that, I suppose.
And we're going to stick together this time.
I sure hope so.
That's the theory.
So that I don't get stuck in a situation where I'm on the brink of death at every moment.
It was that was pretty tense. So a quick overview of our recent escapades for this crew, for Serene, Glane, and Torgan. This band of travelers. Hang on. Hudson's trying to be cheeky here. Here we go. I almost forgot.
Man.
I guess thank you for reminding me at least.
Oh.
Nah, too late now.
That's a shame.
So, the three of you have guided the caravan to the settlement of Woodbreak, out in the outskirts of the Ironlands. Along the way, you met some friends, and upon arriving to Woodbreak, you discovered that the town had been taken captive by a gang of bandits led by the mysterious Katja, the sorceress. Without much planning, Glane infiltrated the settlement and actually did manage to cause a little bit of chaos, taking out some of the bandits. And then Torgan was able to get inside as well. So overnight, through a series of unusual events, the final result was that the city was saved. Torgan fighting his way up to the bandit leader, Katja. Glane distracting, a little bit unintentionally at times. Fleeing for his life after a few missteps. So the team was reunited after defeating the terrible Katja, and began to sort of stay in the settlement of Woodbreak for some time, getting to know them, dining with them, enjoying their company. And we made an attempt to forge a bond with the settlement of Woodbreak. And if I remember, we had a weak hit there. So they are going to ask something of you in order to forge that bond.
So ungrateful.
I know. So we still need to find out what that is exactly. So we're going to envision what it is that they ask of you, so that you can perhaps swear a vow to complete that quest. So let's find out. Let's get a little bit of information. What is the nature? We're going to ask the Oracle, what is the nature of this request?
Before we do that, should we talk about our upgrades?
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
I didn't get a chance to do research with, or talk to townspeople about my main storyline vow either.
Yeah, that will come into play at some point as well, because we're not. It doesn't sound like we're done with Woodbreak, really. So let's talk a little bit about the progression in Ironsworn. You get a chance to upgrade your assets. Assets being kind of special bonuses that you get. There's up to 3 bonuses per asset, but you only start with one of them. You must complete quest to get the rest of those. So I believe Torgen was going to work on his shield bearing. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm going to take the second level of shield bearing, in which when I paint my shield with a meaningful symbol, then if I endure stress, I will add +1 and take +1 momentum.
All right. So that's in addition to what you've already got, which is when you face danger using your shield as cover, add +1. When you clash in close quarters, take +1 momentum on a strong hit. Don't forget that. So that is a bonus for clash, which you do tend to use clash quite a bit as a close quarters warrior. True. It just happens. That said, you also have a bonus that may come in handy. Whoops, I completely missed. Ironclad. Which is, now we've kind of declared that you are lightly armored, not geared for war, just so you can avoid the encumbered penalty. But what that means is when you have to endure harm, you get a bonus on that. So keep that in mind as well. So you've got a few bonuses working for you.
Okay.
So then we have the Archer talent for Serene.
Archer part 2, please.
So you're going to be taking that when you strike or clash once per fight, you can take extra shots at the penalty of supply. And that will give you the ability to re-roll any of the dice. Now that's any 3. That is any of those 3. So it's Yahtzee rules. You can choose which of those 3. It can be all 3. It can be one of the 3. Anything. And then on a hit, +2 harm and +1 momentum, which is fantastic against many foes. And then we have Glane, the sneaky thief.
Snail.
The sneaky snail. Now let's see here. What did Glane decide on at some point? Cutthroat.
Mine was Cutthroat too.
Yeah. So let's look at what that is. So when you compel someone at the point of your blade, or when you rely on your blade to face danger, you get a +1 on your roll. So that's going to be fairly useful. So let's dive back into the town of Woodbreak. Here on the far reaches of the Ironlands, fairly close to civilization, but still days away on foot. Now, the settlement of Woodbreak wants to ask something of you. They've seen you do good work. They've seen you defeat the bandit leader Katja, who is effectively imprisoning the town. But they have something they need you to do. So I've rolled a prompt. Hold truth. Hold truth. Now, what could that be? Let's see here. I think you will be talking with the leader of this town. Sort of not a hugely powerful position among so few, but sort of a de facto spokesperson for the town. This is Abella. And what is... Let's see here. We want to find out a little bit about Abella. What Abella desires and what they're like. So let's see here. We're going to find out... first off, what is Abella's goal? Abella's goal is to spread
Taco
faith.
Abella.
Oh, okay. Spread faith.
Oh boy.
And let's get a descriptor here. Something a little bit... This could be a little bit weird to see how this coincides. Oh, they are protected. Now, the faith of the Ironland is not one in gods and deities, but in more of the fates. A sort of hoping longingly for good to happen, but understanding that it is outside of the control of anyone, that the world spins as it spins, and it is up to fate to decide what happens. So, to spread faith in the Ironlands, what does Abella want in that sense? And to hold truth. To hold truth. Let's see here. Well, let's come back to that a bit. In a bit. Let's let that simmer. We're just going to place that on the back burner and let it simmer for a bit while we deal a little bit with the information that Torgan and Serene both were after back in episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Both of you had leads to follow up on. Does anyone remember what that was?
I do.
Yeah?
I was instructed by one of the members of the caravan named Leela to ask her friend who lives in the settlement of Woodbreak more information about my horse.
Yes.
Sabine, I think the name was, that you rolled for that?
Yes. I'm supposed to ask Sabine about my horse, because she may have some information. So that's what I'd like to do.
So you're gonna get in touch with Sabine here in Woodbreak, introduced by Leela, who is a performer. So Sabine is a sort of a scholar of sorts. Ooh, okay. I can see some pieces coming together here. And I believe Serene will also be talking with Sabine. Because this scholar may have some information that Serene is looking for as well.
I had spent some time kind of figuring out who the gossips and were among the caravan and talking around, and have since transitioned to doing the same in the town. Ended up with the same person Apparently, maybe I think we decided that maybe she had some sort of um, like book collection or something. Vaguely recall.
She is a scholar, and she has studied many things. She possesses a great deal of information that may be of use. So let's see. Who are we gonna start with here? Torgan or Serene's questions?
I'll let Turtle go first.
Okay.
All right. So, Torgan, you go up to you've already sort of met Sabine in passing during all of the sort of revelry that has gone on since your victory over Katja and the bandits after they were run out of town. But Leela did not forget your conversation and has arranged a time for the two of you to meet and discuss something. All Leela really knows is that you're after some information. She heard a few bits and pieces of your tale, but it's a little bit fuzzy on exactly, how she can be of help. But Sabine may know something that can really help you. And so the town does not have a library so much, but there is a sort of public building that you've already seen before in the center of town, where different activities go on that don't really necessitate their own dedicated space. The people of Woodbreak sort of allow Sabine to use this area as her own. But if it doesn't produce food or iron, then it's not of huge benefit for the settlement, typically. But she may have been able to pull some strings or something. Maybe she has some sort of leverage. But either way, she does have a space here where she carries out her studies.
In the corner.
What's that?
Few bookshelves and a desk in a corner somewhere.
Exactly. Just sort of tucked away, but it's in a fairly commonly used building, so there's people going in and out of it at all times. But you do have a chance to meet with her there and to discuss whatever questions you have. So, Torgan, what questions do you have for Sabine?
So I will go to Sabine and ask her if, as this is a place that appears, because we do have a caravan of travelers, that there's probably more than likely been other caravans coming through. The question is, have you heard tell in any of the other caravans coming through of the story of a horse being murdered in the night?
Now, do you bring up the bonus fact that this is not an ordinary horse?
I mean, that would, yes. I should probably mention that because that would stick out in someone's mind. That this was a horse that appeared to be able to talk.
And was also a member of government.
And also hold public office, yes.
Right, yes, naturally. So Sabine, she's an older woman. She's kind of has a sort of hobbled walk, an old cane, but she sort of shuffles over to her bookshelves, not grabbing any of them, but just sort of running her hand across the spines as if she's sort of remembering the information from each one that she's perhaps read cover to cover many times before. So the information is all there. She's just getting that sort of tactile memory of each one as she goes, thinking back. Oh, yes. I do know something of this, perhaps not this exact event, but, I perhaps know some information that may help you in some way. You say that this horse had the gift of speech. and great leadership. I do not believe this was a horse at all. There are many strange beasts that roam the Iron Lands, Torgen. Among them, once, long ago, there were the centaurs. Powerful creatures, half horse, half man. But legends say that they have all vanished. I am not alone in believing this, but I do not believe they've really disappeared so much. I believe they have lost their humanity. Cursed, perhaps? Maybe. Or perhaps something else entirely. But no, the creature you describe was no ordinary horse. It was what remains of the noble lineage of the centaurs. Still blessed with the gift of speech, yet without their human part any longer. They roam the lands, resembling mere horses. Now, who would want to destroy a creature like that? Well, that is another question entirely.
Thank you.
There are other settlements here in the Iron Lands. Perhaps as you travel deeper, you will uncover more of this mystery. Not only of your friend, but of the centaurs as a race.
I will keep my eyes out for them. Thank you. That's the only question I have.
That makes sense. All right. So, Torgen gains some insight, but perhaps more questions arise as a result. He begins to think back to the friendship he had with his horse friend, thinking perhaps was it all based on a lie?
Oh my. That horse was lying to me.
Well, is it lying so much as, he...
Well, maybe the horse didn't know either. I mean, if the lineage is lost, then, it just happens to be a horse and born way down the line. And
Yeah.
it's not like he has any other horses to talk to about it. I mean, it's just, okay. All right, I forgive the horse. Still dead, though, so...
Well, maybe. Maybe there's magic and fae, and who knows?
Maybe. Maybe the horse is still alive, and I don't know it.
He faked his death to escape.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
I owed a lot of money on that Costco card, and... horse insurance fraud.
All right, Serene, you also had questions.
I had a couple of topics of conversation for
All right.
Sabine. As a elf, I presume she's a I've gotten the impression I stand out a bit.
Oh yes.
So I have some questions about how long it's been since other elves have been seen in this region, and kind of I know there used to be elven settlements scattered about once upon a time, and there's been lost city stories and whatnot, treasure hunting, whatnot. Like I've I've heard the stories. I'm a bard. But it's curious to do doing a little bit of field research. You know.
Right.
Sometimes in out of the way settlements, you'll find books with like maps and things. So I'm curious to just kind of pick her mind, see what she knows. And since she's kind of the town learned person, I have a hunch she probably knows a little bit about medicinal plants and whatnot as well. And I happen to be a poison specialist.
Mm-hmm.
So that would also be an interesting topic of conversation.
Well, of course. I mean, assuming that she knows anything about that.
It's an educated guess.
Yeah. All right, so let's break that down then into the first topic. What do you want to broach first?
So let's just start with. So, I've gotten a few funny looks. I feel like I stand out a little bit. What's the general, perception? Like, what do people know about elves in these parts?
Ah, yes. Ah, the elves. Yes, I've seen elves before. Perhaps decades ago now. Some sort of incident has driven them north into the forests, the deep woods. It is rare to see any of your kind outside of your homeland.
Yes, I got some flack for leaving home, but I've heard most of the stories at home. I needed to branch out and go on some adventures. I have a little bit of the wanderlust, I suppose. Appetite for knowledge.
Yes, no better way to gain it than to travel. What brings you past our humble settlement?
I make my way on my travels with my lute and my bow. I was part of the caravan. I had been hired to escort them through this area. I was hoping perhaps in exploring some of the outer communities I might find some more obscure information or knowledge, more local types of things, old documents, manuscripts, who knows. I enjoy being a little nosy at times.
Well, you won't find much here, I'm afraid. These tomes are all inked by hand, my own. This is the knowledge I have learned and categorized. But if you have questions of it, no faster way for an answer than to ask.
This is an impressive collection. You've been at this for quite a few years, I imagine.
Oh yes, many.
What knowledge do you have of local sort of the flora, fauna? I specialize. Another reason I wasn't quite so popular back home. As an archer, I specialize in poison. I have a few various sleeping draughts and a few healing items that I keep with me. I'm always curious to see what the local nature can provide.
Well, I advise you to take caution in the Ironlands. This area is fraught with danger, terrible beasts and creatures that can do more harm than good with their products. If you see a trail upon the ground, slick like a frozen river, keep your distance. Its touch can be corrosive.
Serene pulls out a little notebook she keeps on her belt pouch and starts taking notes. Just to evidence that she's paying attention and taking her seriously. Because a lot of these types of things don't get taken seriously. But Serene knows better.
Yeah. All right, did you have anything else for her?
I'll make an offer to, stop back by and share any interesting information I find in my along the way. But otherwise, I, make polite and bid her farewell.
All right. We've at least got a little bit of just a smidgen of information there. Mm-hmm. Now then, let's see here. As for the community of Woodbreak, they have something to ask of you. Let's see here. What was his name? Abella, who is protected. He has some goal for you, and we rolled an oracle prompt and got hold truth. Hold truth is the nature. That is the nature of what they want from you. So, let's see here. I believe that Abella holds some truth that he wishes to be sent to perhaps a person or another settlement. Perhaps this is related to the bandit camp. Let's see. Let's get one more prompt out of there. So a bit more information. Charge survival. All right. So you had Katja, the bandit leader, through a combination of the very few notes that she kept and the bits and pieces of conversation that the townsfolk heard from their prison below, they were able to piece together some information that there is another threat that Katja fears, something that could endanger the survival of a nearby settlement. So this is deeper in the Ironlands, further out west. What is this? What is the name of this settlement?
Yeah, I did loot her office, by the way, so if that is relevant, we can talk about it.
I don't know if you're just gonna grab things from the people that you saved.
I'm snooping and researching and reading things.
Okay.
Loot, because you're an instrument player, you see.
Well, I'm a bard. I'm nosy. I admitted this. I like snooping.
I'm just pointing out the fact that you used the word loot.
Well, I'm looting information.
She's only maybe looting the room of the person who took over the town. She's not looting the town.
Well, presumably that was someone's room before Katja moved in.
Probably something resembling a mayor's office.
This was just a bad joke, because more than likely she plays a lute.
I mean, I do.
Yeah. I got it.
Yeah. I'm looting information and, I don't know, maybe a paperweight. If I get really just shiny silver.
How noble of you.
Paperclip? Mostly being nosy. I might have taken an extra pen.
Just has a compulsion to just steal something. Doesn't have to be important. Just something no one
The
will
pen
notice.
was from the Visitors Bureau that said, "Please visit Woodbreak, a wonderful community."
Well, I'm taking notes. This is probably the town secretary records keeping type facility. There's probably useful information here.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even loot the room, so this really speaks about me.
Well, there's nothing in there that you would find valuable.
All right.
I didn't see a safe. You're not the nosy, snoopy storyteller.
All right. So, Abella, the leader of Woodbreak, has asked you to carry news to the settlement of Greatfield. Great. Apparently there is a dangerous threat rising near that settlement that Katja feared. And so they ask this of you. Now, assuming that you take that quest, this will solidify your bond with the settlement of Woodbreak. You'll be forever bonded with their community. So, do you accept their
warning
their
people
quest?
that they're about to get, wiped the floor with sounds like a good thing to do.
All right.
I'm down.
Okay. Now, so this was on a weak hit for Forge a Bond, so they asked something of you first. We have figured out what it is. So you will swear an iron vow to protect the community of Greatfield from this growing threat. So who is actually going to swear this vow?
I'm hanging back on this one.
I guess I'm probably the spokesperson.
All right. So this
I seem to have taken
the
the project management role.
apparently. I'm going to rank this one as formidable. Because at this point, you don't even know what the threat really is. And this is going to be the entire party is making this vow. So, swearing a vow. That move requires a heart roll. Classic.
Hey, Turtle, guess who rolls heart?
Sorry, I forget which button unmuted me. Okay, I guess it's going to be me.
All right. I
Once
believe in
again,
you.
thrust into it.
I mean, that's how it goes. Now here's one bonus at least. You are making this vow to a person or community with whom you share a bond, because you now have a bond with this community, so you can add +1. So you're actually going to be rolling a 4 on this roll, which is pretty good. Heart.
All right, here I go.
All right. All right. Well, that is still. Well, hang on now. Do we have momentum to come to our aid? Ooh, not enough. Not at all. Well,
No.
You have a weak hit. So, you are determined, but begin your quest with more questions than answers. Take +1
That sounds
momentum and envision what you do to find a path forward. So I think the big mystery here, so you do get +1 momentum. The big mystery here is you don't know what this threat is exactly, but you know that somehow you are going to find answers in Greatfield.
We come as harbingers of impending unknown doom. That's gonna go over well.
More or less, yes. Like, hey guys, something bad's about to go down.
The bad guy from the last town was scared of whatever is about to come down on your town, so we should probably be slightly worried.
Perhaps. All right. So are we going to undertake a journey, I guess, at this point? Journey to Greatfield. This is a... let's see. This is a dangerous journey across the Ironlands. So that means you'll be making 2 progress for each waypoint. So, are you prepared to embark on your journey?
I think our spirit and supplies should all be maxed at this point.
We did not max out supply.
Well, didn't we just spend a couple weeks in their town? I thought we discussed that.
We did. Let's see. I definitely did go with full health. I did not max out supply. But presumably...
Let's go hunting.
Presumably you will be able to resupply while you are here in town, which would require at least a resupply roll. The mechanics will drive forward the narrative.
Okay, I'll roll that.
All right. So that'll be a roll with wits.
+3.
+3 for Serene. And you do have some decent momentum right now at a 6. In the case of a really bad roll, for instance.
Those all just seem to come my way.
All right. So you can take it in exchange for... You can take the supply in exchange for 1 momentum. Yay, nay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So the people of Woodbreak do supply you with everything you're missing there, and you were able to set out fully stocked on everything you need.
What's this mechanic for the spirit thing?
Let's see here. Sojourn. Yeah, spending time in a community. Which typically I think it's more interesting to kind of set out not quite at full on everything, but if you guys want to just push for just, oh yeah, we need 5s on the 5s across the board.
I mean, I think that would be a nice way to start. And it's kind of weird how, like, and I'm not fully sure I understand what affects spirit. So,
Well, I can also understand how our spirit would be kind of low considering we worked as hard as we did, and now they're like, "Yeah, thanks, but more, please."
And how Serene's is fine because she stayed in the tree the whole time.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
they all put up the please give.
well, more than that, I think they're just worried about the next town over. Like, it's not, we're not grateful, or we're not, it's more like,
No, there's
okay,
there's
there's
a looming
still
threat.
something to be worried about.
Yeah, there's a looming threat. So that does make sense.
They're like, you're awesome. Also, there's this other thing that needs handled.
Yeah, the team.
And you're probably the only qualified people.
Yeah, the team has some worries, some anxiety about the coming days and what it holds.
Fair enough.
All right, so we're going to undertake a journey. So someone will need to act as Wayfinder. And considering that, well, it's only a difference of 1 point, but it could make a difference. It'll be wits, but with an extra +1 since you share a bond with this community.
I can roll that.
All right. That'll be
Seems
a
appropriate.
+4.
Are we about to strike out and head somewhere?
Yes.
Yep.
Would I be able to set up what I've been doing the last few days? Just for
Oh
storytelling.
yeah, where have you been?
Yeah. Let's hear about
So-
Glaine's misadventures.
So I've been spending the last couple of days on the outskirts of town, cooking fish as I do, trying to attract cats. Cats have been appearing, but none of them have been Gary, which is my cat, which is a combination of Goose and Terry. I've also been handing out poorly drawn missing pamphlets to the people in town with a poorly drawn picture of the cat. And while it is poorly drawn, there is a detail that shows that the cat has 2 different colored eyes, which would stand out if someone were to see it. There is a reward written on the pamphlet for more money than I've ever had at any one time. Just to goad people into getting me my cat back.
Right.
You're probably just going to kill him and take the cat anyway. Let's be honest about it.
Or just never admit that their lead was the one that got me the cat.
Mm-mm.
You're a piece of work, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's see what happens.
That's all we've got.
Let's see what happens undertaking this journey to Greatfield. We'll need a iron roll 4. A strong hit. You reach a waypoint. Choose one. You make good use of your resources and mark progress, or you move at speed, 1 momentum in exchange for 1 supply.
I'll take that momentum back, thank you.
We're just gonna hold on to the momentum. Oh, you are going to take the momentum. All right,
Yes.
excellent. Okay, so
I traded supply for momentum.
I'm trading it right back.
Yeah.
Yep, that's how it works. Okay, so let's find out what is this first waypoint on your journey. Ooh, a corrupted glade. Corrupted glade. All right. So the 3 of you have set out with your supplies. You've been making your making quick progress along your way. There is the terrain is rough and treacherous, but you are seasoned adventurers, hopefully prepared for any threats that come your way. You arrive at what looks to be a small area of vegetation out here in the sort of rocky wastes of the Ironlands. A sort of oasis in an otherwise inhospitable land. But this area seems as though something wicked has been through this area.
I'm sorry if I missed this. Are we traveling on foot now, or are we still with a wagon?
No, the wagon was for the caravan. The 3 of you embark alone now.
So we're just walking.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Torgen's missing his horse.
Yeah,
That's true. I could really use a horse right about now.
that's a shame.
As I walk through the tall grass, I go,
I don't know what he goes.
I missed it too.
what?
What? We didn't hear you. What do you do when you go through the grass?
Oh, I went,
Ah, there it is. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Your
Tried to call
microphone
out
didn't pick
for
it up
cat.
the first time.
okay.
Okay. Now the joke connects. Perfect.
It's not a
All
joke,
right.
I'm doing it.
Oh yeah.
You already smell like fish. I mean,
Yeah, he's leaning
Yeah,
hard into it.
He's a little bit of a liability. He's going to
Mhm.
attract predators.
or PETA.
Yeah.
I'd be more concerned at the moment about another wolf or something.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't look like
It
any.
didn't go so well last time.
It doesn't look like any wolves have been in the area. Serene, you do notice one thing that puts you on guard. There's sort of a trail sort of torn right through the glade, where the grass has just turned a rough, dead brown, going straight through the center of it.
As soon as I spot it, I kind of hold up my hand to stop the other two and grab my crossbow. Or bow, rather. Archer this time.
Right.
Grab my bow and and fill the boys in on some of the warnings I had gotten from Sabine.
You know, I'm going to bring up some knowledge here and say that I've seen something similar to this at some point, but not exactly going to tell what I thought it was.
We're supposedly well-seasoned adventurers. I don't know what seasoning, but we presumably have delicious flavors that other things want to eat. So we should be careful.
It's true. I do come off on the salty side.
Glane smells like fish, and I'm a fan of rosemary myself, you know.
Yeah. Well, based on the description you got from Sabine, the grass does not have that same shimmer that you were warned about. It looks like if anything was here, it's long gone now.
Still, if it was here once, those sorts of things tend to, in my experience, you know, creatures that generally leave significant markings on the ground like that are typically territorial. So, better to be on guard.
All right.
I would like to take a moment to paint an eagle on my shield. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why an eagle? Well, we're delivering mail like we're the post office. So it's a meaningful symbol.
There you go. That is
In
the,
our
that is
world,
the
yes.
meaningful symbol that you have. Yes.
We're messengers, okay?
Yeah.
Sure.
It works. All
I'll
right.
buy it.
All right. Do you want to press onward?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's press on.
All right. Continuing the journey. We'll need to see what the next waypoint is. Well, let's get another roll of wits. Serene, with the highest wits.
So it's +3 for now?
Yes.
No more bonuses.
No more bonuses. Oh, look at those nice low ones that you're up against there. Another strong hit. So you do reach a waypoint. Mark progress. And let's figure out what that next waypoint is. And you can move at speed if you so choose.
And does she get a bonus for the doubles?
Oh, that does make this a match. That's true. Let's see what happens here. Ooh, Dark Fields. Dark Fields. Okay. So you push further out into the west, following the setting sun. And as night falls, you come across a large field of grass. It doesn't look like it's been used for agriculture at some point. Most of the areas of the Ironlands are in no shape for farming, but just wild grass has grown here, giving a nice change of scenery from the stark lack of vegetation on most of your journey, and just seeing some green is a sort of fills you with just a little bit of hope in this otherwise desolate land. Let's see, some sort of interesting twist here. There is.
So
Go ahead.
can I ask a question?
Yes.
Since this is a rare occurrence of, presumably edible vegetation, perhaps there's some hunting opportunities to be had for an archer?
Oh, of course. If you wish to attempt to do a little bit of resupplying here in this area.
It seems like a logical thing to do.
Yeah, we'll see if we can find something like that. So let's see. For resupply, you'll need to roll your wits. And we have, just barely eking out a strong hit there. Bolster your supply. And that maxes you out again. So Serene goes out to do a bit of hunting as night falls. Oh, you know what? We probably should have made that a make camp move here, which would have made a little bit more sense. Yeah, we can do this as a separate roll here. So Serene does some hunting to gather food for the night.
Fresh rabbit for dinner, guys.
That's right. Looking through this field for any sort of small game that can be found.
What is around our camp immediately?
What's that?
Like, other than just grass, like, was it like structures like trees or rocks or anything?
Night has fallen, and it's hard to really see much of anything. Truth be told, you've probably traveled a little bit too long and exhausted your light for the day. So the camp setting is a little bit hurried, and you haven't had a chance to really get a good look around.
I was going to see if I could not be with the others directly, to be resting in an alternate location close by, but so that we aren't all in the same place if something were to come.
I suppose you can.
Like, were there a tree or a rock or something to take cover around?
Why are you always trying to run away from us?
I'm around. I'm, kind of looking out.
Yeah, sure. A small rocky outcropping nearby would let you sort of keep a bit of distance from the team and the campfire.
Okay, I guess Glenn takes first watch. That's nice of him to volunteer like that.
All right, now let's see how well the camp making goes here. A weak hit. You each get to choose one. Since the only thing really lacking is spirit and momentum. Well, and plus, so really the only things you can choose between are getting that missing point of spirit, taking a momentum, or adding a +1 to tomorrow's journey.
I'll take a +1 momentum, please.
I would also like a momentum. Mine is very low.
It is. Need to build that back up. And then for Glane?
I will take the spirit.
All right. All right. The night passes, and you awake to a brand new day in this grassy field. No dangers encountered during the night. No horrible beasts sneaking up on you. Perhaps the Ironlands are not as bad as they make it out to be, or perhaps you were just a little bit lucky today. Either way, the path ahead to Greatfield still stands before you. A long journey still ahead.
We progress. We want to make progress.
That's going to be Serene. Oh, another strong kid. Oh, a 9 against that 8 and 7. Again, just barely
I'm
getting the
wasting all
strong
my
hit.
luck.
Apparently, on a peaceful journey. All right. Move at speed or make good use of your resources.
Let's move at speed.
All right, so that's going to cost a bit of supply, but you are now at 8 on your momentum.
And we get to move faster, which is good.
No.
No?
No.
No. Just
No.
2 still. That's okay.
Yeah, it's, mechanically, it is only for the benefit of the momentum. So, we will envision the next waypoint on your journey. Ooh, a rough battlefield. So, you come across the remains of what looks to be an old battlefield. The landscape is dotted with a few long picked clean remains and small shards of broken weapons dotting the landscape. It seems some battle was fought here many, many years ago, now mostly forgotten. No memorials stands here, no grave sites, just the final resting place for those that did not fare as well in the battle.
For lack of a better term, bardic knowledge check. Do I know what this? Have any clues about where we might be relative to the scene at hand?
You can gather some information.
Okay,
It'll be a roll of wits.
that's my specialty.
So you're just kind of looking for. You just want to know what happened here.
What happened? Like, is this like? It'll give me an idea of kind of some bearings on where we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If nothing else.
Ooh. All right.
Oh, and I got another match.
And another match. So let's see. On a strong hit, you discover something helpful and specific. Envision what you learn and take +2 momentum. That's going to max you out at 10 momentum. So the only thing you can't beat now is a 10 if you need to spend that. So let's see here. Serene does some investigation of the area, poking about, searching the battlefield. No specific questions in mind, just sort of the vague curiosity of wondering what exactly happened here. It looks as though this was once the site of a small settlement. She finds no fully standing remains of buildings, but there is the telltale signs of just the way that the plants, the small weeds grow from the ground here and there, and a few rocks that are obviously placed not haphazardly, but in certain orientations, indicate that there were old roads between buildings. There was old fireplace here, a forge here. People lived here once, but it looks like the town has been completely wiped away, whether through the actions of some of the combatants, or perhaps just washed away through the natural wear and tear of time is not certain, but it looks as though some great battle was fought, perhaps over the fate of that old settlement.
So looking around, and you mentioned like shards of weapons and whatnot. Anything that might have like a identifiable symbol, maybe a village emblem, or some sort of local lord sort of marking on maybe a fragment of something. If there, you said remains, implying like there. So are we looking at? Is like her main question at this point is going to be: was this specifically a human settlement? After having heard kind of some of what Sabine had to say, she's just checking.
Right. You find a few old arrowheads. The wooden shaft long since rotted away, and some broken blades. Not much left of them, but examining them, they do seem finely made and could potentially be of elven origin.
She's going to pocket a few pieces and just kind of pack them away in her stuff to get to better examine at a later point in time.
All right.
A few, and if nothing else, a few spare arrowheads to repair her materials with later wouldn't not be amiss.
No. Yeah, in a pinch they'll do. They're in rough shape.
Well, yeah, she'd probably have to resharpen them or whatnot.
Right,
but
a little bit of material is always good to have.
Yeah, a little bit of scavenging.
Yeah. What were you about to say?
As I walk through the field, a skull is on the floor in my path, and I just start kicking it down the road as one would a rock.
What kind of skull?
A human-sized skull.
Not a cat?
No.
Of course not. Gosh, come on.
Why would you say that?
Sorry.
All right. Shall we undertake the next leg of the journey?
Are we sure it's human? Serene's gonna kind of glare at Glane and be like, "Excuse you?
That might be Elvish, I don't know.
Oh.
You're obviously desecrating a corpse. Could you not?"
For, by the way, no reason. Like, I can't see what the reasoning behind this is.
We're
Like,
just passing through.
could you just not?
Character building. Glane has no respect for the dead. This is a new thing we've learned.
I was giving Glane credit for chaotic neutral, but I'm starting to wonder.
No credit for no credit at all. No.
All right, here we go. Oh no, there's that 10. Can't beat that. A weak hit. You reach a waypoint and mark progress, but suffer supply. All right, so we will mark progress on the journey. We are nearing Greatfield. We're not quite there.
I feel like we should.
What's that?
2, 4, 6, 2. I'm sorry, it was just I miscounted.
All right. Oh, a river travels. There's a river across the land here. So, along the way, you've passed a handful of streams for easy crossing. But here, it seems that a sort of larger river has convened into a set of rapids right across the path you need to travel. So somehow or another, you're going to need to get over these rapids here.
I think we should have the oxen ford the river.
Well, we'll need to get some oxen first.
So, Serene's going to kind of move, like how far? She's going to kind of take a stroll upstream along the riverbank and kind of see how far the rapids expand upstream.
Let's see. Traveling upstream a bit, the river sort of widens out a bit and slows down significantly. There's still a force behind the stream, but it could possibly be a little bit safer to cross here. It's sort of the choice between a short but more dangerous crossing at the rapids versus a longer but potentially safer crossing further upstream.
Typically, when water pools right before rapids, you get a concentration of fish. Is there anything that perhaps do I see any signs of maybe dinner swimming about?
Nothing stands out as obvious. If you want to take the time to pause here for resupplying, that is always an option. Currently, you still have at least enough supply to get you through, hopefully all the way to the settlement. But if you want to stop here,
well, how much daylight do we have at this point? Because that would affect the decision.
It's about midday.
I feel like we haven't been awake for long. Yeah. I'd like to look around and see if there's anything either on our side of the water or the opposite side that if we could access it would create some kind of a bridge or a safer way to get across.
Let's see here. There's an old tree, no leaves, possibly dead or just not in season, that is growing on the opposite bank.
How wide is this river? Is it like
would a tree fall down and cross it?
Well, that's not really what I'm asking. Just basically, how wide would you have to go to get across it without a tree?
The whole way.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, is it a couple of feet? Is it very long? From one side of the river to the other?
It's long enough to be a danger.
Okay.
If you have a specific idea you want to throw past me that would only work for certain distances, then I will hear that and then tell you yes or no. But
essentially, I don't know which one of us, how we've imagined our characters and how lanky or quick they are.
Well, Glaine and Serene are more quick and nimble than Torgon.
I kind of see me as a sneaky, kind of weird, skinny, tiny
totally
person. But Serene would also fit that build.
Well, I'm an elf, so I'm tall, but yeah.
Yeah,
I stand out.
I'm short and fat, kind of like a turtle.
If I were to
back legs,
look at the water and imagine, what if Torgon braced himself right at the river's edge, and one of us were to dash at him, and he were to boost us up with his shield? Would we be able to actually leap across it to access that tree and then do something with it?
All right, so the plan is Torgon's going to basically stepping stone with a boost.
An alley-oop?
An alley-oop.
Yeah.
Glaine across the river.
I'm helping.
Colossus Wolverine situation.
How about, I presume one of us was bound to have packed rope. And, you can tie the rope to an end of an arrow or a crossbow bolt. And, we could put a lead line across the river. Since there's conveniently a tree to target.
Then again, rule of cool.
I mean, I would feel more comfortable with a rope, but if Glaine really just is feeling froggy and wants to try an alley-oop, that's his business.
I mean, the arrow would go into the tree, and then what would the rope would still be loose on our end. We'd have to kind of pull ourselves through the river.
I mean, it would just be something to hold on to and tie into in case you fall.
Or a tightrope walk. Like, it's just it seems like every option of those is a little risky.
We could build a boat.
I don't know if we have that kind of time.
Or wood.
Slow and
Or
steady.
We had enough.
Typical turtle.
We could just float on Torgen's shield. Transmute him into his turtle form.
Which one of my stats would be the thing that dictates if I were to make such a jump?
I would give that
Probably
edge. Speed, agility, or precision.
Okay.
Ooh.
None of us are special in that.
No.
You're the most... You've got the highest among the party, alongside Serene.
And if I were to get across the river, do I have a way to dislodge this tree to get it to act as a bridge? I have a dagger and maybe a crossbow. Is it so old that it would just come out of the roots if I were to really push it?
That remains to be seen. Just to clarify, mechanically, this is basically going to be one roll to see if you succeed on the plan or not. Of getting everyone across. If you succeed, everyone's across. Hooray.
All right.
So for whatever if that helps.
I run my idea by Torgen and see if he'd be willing to boost me with a shield.
I mean, we're going to do co-op rules. I mean, it's Mario Maker, baby.
Uppies.
Oh god. We're dead.
Uppies.
Hope there's not a Kaizo block when I jump over.
Yeah, I'd say we do it.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I guess
Torgen
plan is winning.
Torgen is a tough individual. Very sturdy. Definitely the most of the party. So he digs in his heels and limbers up, prepares his shield. Glane kind of does a few little cursory kind of warm up lunges to prepare to clear the rapids.
I get my wolf tooth necklace and I put it under my shirt so it doesn't fall off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to keep that safe.
Spirit of
So
the wolf is with you.
let's have an edge roll from Glane. Actually, hang on. Well, never mind.
Oh no, I already rolled it.
Yeah, it's all right. It wouldn't have made a difference. Okay. A weak hit. So you succeed, but face a troublesome cost. Choose one. Let's see here. Delayed, lose advantage, or face a new danger. Tired or hurt. Dispirited or afraid. Or sacrifice
Maybe it hurt
resources.
me to jump off of me.
Well,
So I
since
made it.
Glane is the one that is sort of facing the danger, he's the one that accepts the consequences.
Oh, okay.
He just hurtled himself across the river. Like, who knows? He probably hit his head on a rock or something.
Smacked
Yeah.
into the tree, George of the Jungle style.
So Glane, your jump is impressive, but you're gonna need to roll to endure harm. Let's see, that's gonna be 1. Oh wait, actually that'd be 3 on that. So equal to your foe's rank or as appropriate to the situation. Roll. Oh wait, that was the wrong one. You're over here. Roll a +3. Roll an iron roll of 3 to endure harm. Okay, a strong hit. Choose one. You can shake it off, which is -1 momentum, and your health goes back up to 4. Or you can just stay at 3 health and take a +1 momentum.
Did I take 2 damage doing this?
Yes.
Okay. I'll mitigate that with 1 momentum.
All right. Consider it mitigated. So Glane runs full speed towards Torgen. Torgen with his shield prepped. Glane makes one very, very strong leap into the air, placing both feet down on Torgen's shield. where he prepares to jump one more time. Torgon, in unison, pushes up with his shield with as much force as he can. Glane is catapulted into the air, clearing most of the rapids, but a small outcropping of rocks there at the end catches his ankle as he lands. He's slightly hurt, but he kind of pushes through the pain and carries on, securing a line around the tree for the rest of you to cross safely.
Yay!
Ta-da!
And with that, you guys make it across the rapids.
As they get to the other side, I reach a hand out to pull each of them to shore. And as they put their feet on land, I say, "You're welcome," very quietly.
Just passive aggressively.
Why?
Serene rolls her eyes and does a mock curtsy. In
Torgon-
her pants.
Torgon said, "You're welcome. You dumped off me. I believe I was half of this."
Either way, you succeeded. Leaving, hopefully, the final leg of your journey ahead.
I guess it's my turn to roll again.
Yeah, we'll get that hopefully the last one, the +3 on wits. For the last segment of the journey. A strong hit!
Oh,
You've done it! You have arrived at Greatfield. And you have the opportunity to take 1 momentum in exchange for 1 supply because of your strong hit.
I'm at max momentum.
Oh, that's a good point. You are. All right. That's true. All right. Well, now you have completed your journey. So let's see here. Let's see. Reach your destination. That's the one. Reach your destination. When your journey comes to an end, roll the challenge dice compared to your progress. We're going to do a progress roll here, not a regular one. I remembered this time. So let's see here. And we're going to do this against a 10 because you have made it all the way there. Here we go. A strong hit.
Yes.
The situation at your destination favors you. Choose one. Make another move now and add +1, or take +1 momentum.
Is this an individual for each of us or a group decision?
Technically, this should be just for an individual, so we didn't really decide in advance who is making the roll.
Well, Turtle needs the momentum the most.
I do need some momentum.
All right, and we'll take that. And with that, your journey is complete, so that's good progress there. And also, that is your first step on your vow to protect Greatfield from the mysterious threat, is just getting to Greatfield.
Ugh.
So, as we arrive, is there a wall or is there a guardhouse? What are we up against?
The city is not walled. It is an open collection of buildings, small, heavy in wood and stone in their construction.
Okay. So
But you
as we
see
approach
people
town,
ambling around, going about their day, traveling between buildings. Some outside working on some crafting of some sort. Talking with one another.
I think I should find the first person that we see and ask them to take us to their leader.
and Serene face palms dramatically.
Yeah, we're gonna phrase it just like that.
What? I'm just listen. This
No,
is a severe threat. We are. This is possibly time sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So Serene might add something along the lines of, "We come with urgent news from Woodbreak. Who's in charge here? Who's your mayor, town elder? We need to talk to somebody."
We come in peace. Take us to your leader.
Yeah, there you go. That's much better. So let's see here. Namba. So one of the villagers points you over to an individual named Namba, who is sort of the representative of Greatfield.
Number one.
Number one.
Stop it.
So let's see
Don't
here.
insult them.
Let's see. What is
Don't insult the important people.
Let's learn a little bit about Namba here.
You're right. I should really take my job more seriously.
Dense.
Oh no.
It's perfect.
I mean, there you go. And okay. To make an agreement. Interesting. All right. So we know a little bit about Namba.
Agreeable, dense dude. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so connected to this person already.
Now, presumably in these small settlements in the Ironlands, politics are not a major item in the day-to-day. There is always work to do if you're going to survive until the next year. So this person is not just a town representative. They also have some kind of role within the settlement. Namba is also one of the town guards.
Oh, the guard captain. That's convenient.
Yeah, fair. Pretty much that.
Yeah. Sheriff.
Yeah, Sheriff Namba. All right, so you're gonna go over and talk to Namba, bringing news from Woodbreak. So Namba is sort of standing there, sort of surveying the lands on the opposite side of the settlement, sort of just watching out for any signs of threats during the day, but mostly just taking a moment to lean on his spear. So he's got he's mostly mostly armed with the spear. You see that he's got a small knife on his belt as well. And there's a bow strapped to his back that doesn't look like it gets much use. Currently, it's not even doesn't even have the bowstring on it.
Serene's just like, well, we're gonna have to save these people too, aren't we?
Classic. All right, so you approach him and make yourself known to Namba, and he turns around. And he's got sort of a friendly demeanor, sort of happy to see a new face. Whenever he has the opportunity to meet someone new, like, oh well, hello. Welcome, travelers. Welcome to Greatfield.
Greetings. We come with urgent news from Woodbreak. They sent us here to pass on word of what had happened there, and a warn of possible threats that could be lurking nearby.
Over from Woodbreak, eh? Oh, I see. This is of some concern.
So I explain, the town got held hostage by a gang of local bandits, and we helped get rid of the bandits, but there was something somewhere near here that the leader of the bandits was afraid of and leery of. So we're, warning them of that scenario.
And she was magic, and she's afraid of something? There's something serious here.
Oh, that's not good, is it? My men have been reporting that there is some unusual activity just a few clicks north of here. I wonder if there's any connection about that.
Serene's ears prick up a little bit at the word north.
A noticeable something that he would pick up on?
Well, if he's familiar with the body language of elves, maybe, but probably not.
Well, I mean, you've got massive ears, so it might be like waving signal flags.
I don't know that they're that significant. But, maybe he would notice that she kind of like.
Let's see. He'd notice it. It's not super likely he'd notice it. We'll give him a. We'll say he'll notice on a 26 or above. No, sorry, a 76 or above. No, okay, he didn't like.
Okay.
I mean, you can push that a bit if you want, but
She's gonna continue listening for now.
okay.
But she's making a note in her head.
Mm-hmm. And the other day, we had some travelers heading through, just passing to another settlement, but they got driven far off course. They were a bit skittish and didn't tell us much of the details, but yeah, it sounds like there's something going on that's going to be needing us to investigate.
Do you know where those particular travelers had come from, or where they hailed?
Well, there's an old road, actually north of here, traveling between a pair of settlements, maybe a day's journey from here. Sort of sister settlements to one another. Strange that they got pushed all the way down here by whatever it was, say that. But we got them all, we got them fixed up and sent back on their way. Now I wonder if they even made it. Well,
When's your next?
What's that?
When's your next round of scouts due back?
Well, now that you mention it, they should have been back about 2 hours ago. I just kind of figured they were slacking off, but
Serene just kind of looks around at the other two, like, uh-oh.
This is no good. This is no good. I'll have to round up some men, see what we can do about this.
Maybe we should go look for them.
I'm sure we could be of some assistance. Do you have any, perhaps maps of the area we could look at to kind of get an idea of, the surrounding area and, like, maybe what their patrol routes are?
Oh, maps in the Ironlands. Not much use there, is there?
Oh, I'm eternally optimistic.
You say you know which road they went towards. Can you show us which road it was?
Oh yes, of course. So he points out sort of the direction he was formerly looking. And so just north of here, there's a road connects two villages, one to the east, one to the west. Now most of the whispers I've heard about dangers gathering up are from just north of that road, just on the other side of it from us. There's a start of a large forest just a little ways. I'd reckon that there's something in that forest that's causing all this mischief.
You said that they needed to be fixed up, that they had either damages or injuries. What did you actually have to do to patch them up?
Well, it wasn't me personally, but if you're interested, I could ask around and figure out just what was going on there.
Is there maybe a blacksmith or something in town that we would talk to that might have some information?
About the injuries?
Well, about like what kind of repairs or whatnot the group may have needed, or if they had horses or a wagon or some such, or
is there like a nurse in the area?
Yeah, it was more medical. More medical.
Okay.
Fixin'-ups.
Just seeing if they had, burns or something that we could prepare for.
Right. But yeah, he can get you that information.
Okay. So Sabine's kind of looking around. Are all of the inhabitants? I'm going to guess they're all human, or at least everyone we can see.
Yes.
Appears to be human.
Yes.
No horses.
No horses.
Talking to anybody?
I mean, there's some horses, but none of them appear to be talking.
Did he? Has anyone looked at me particularly funny?
I mean, at this point, you are sort of used to the sort of glance of, huh.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but forest to the north, elves. Trouble seems to be coming forest north. She's starting to wonder if there's a connection. She's starting to get perhaps a little bit more leery.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want to quite broach the subject just yet, because nobody's specifically said anything.
Right.
But she's curious about asking about those other two villages. What were their names again?
Oh well, let me tell you. Highbridge and Bleak Cairn.
I lean to Torgan and say, sometimes you think these people are just making these names up.
I lean over to Glane and say, every week I make a trailer for this, and I have to try to remember where we're headed, and these names, I have to write them down at this point.
Fourth wall break. Bad.
I lean to him and say, what's a trailer?
Point to the nearby wagon. And right behind that.
Okay. So who are we going to go talk to? Around
medical
town.
people, right? To see what damages,
Yeah. So you are able to
injuries they had.
yeah. So Namba goes and speaks to some of the other villagers, try to get a little bit of information. Finds out that these travelers were mostly just kind of bruised up with scratches. Didn't see anything apart from that. Hard to tell if that was just a scrambled escape through the woods or actual injuries caused by something.
But no, like, wild animal bites or anything super
Didn't appear to
obvious.
be any bites or anything like that. And someone asked about burn marks. No burns or anything.
Nothing that we could uniquely equip ourselves with armor to protect from, because we don't know exactly what did
Right.
it.
Yeah, that one's kind of a dead end, it seems.
All right.
So, current plan is probably to travel up north.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
we might do a little shopping first. I don't like that 3.
Oh yeah, get a little bit more supply. All right.
So we should probably talk to Namba and be like, okay, well, if you want us to go look for your missing scouts, we're gonna need, a few odds and ends, and we'll go, check and see if we see anything.
Yeah.
We'll run a quick scouting mission. Perhaps one of his guards would like to show us the patrol route.
Yeah, I could probably kind of show you the area of what what's going on there. So looking for supplies in the settlement. So that will be sojourn. So that's going to be heart roll.
It would make sense for the warrior to have that conversation.
I guess that would be me.
That would be you. You're our
You
specialist.
were the one who offered.
A strong hit. All right, so on a strong hit, you and your allies may each choose 2 from within the categories below. So let's see here. Among those are recovery, taking health, planning for taking momentum, provisions for taking supply, and also taking a quest, which would allow you to get a +1 on Swear an Iron Vow. I feel like we're kind of already on the quest to protect Greatfield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling like the goal was to get supplies to go on the scouting mission.
Mm-hmm. So the 3 of you each get to choose. Let's see here. On a strong hit, you and your allies may choose 2 from within the categories below. So you can each choose 2 of these, which means probably we're going to see a lot of momentum. Glane is still a little bit low on health. So Glane, if you want to have your wounds treated, this would be the time to do it.
I would.
Okay. And Serene, since you're already stocked up on momentum and everything else.
Yeah, I'm going to do supply.
All right. And then
I'll
Torgen.
handle the shopping.
The only thing I can really do, I guess, is take momentum.
Sounds good. Oh, look at that high momentum that everyone has. You guys are going to be ready for it, for whatever comes your way.
You said we'd get to pick 2 each?
Let's see. Oh, yes, it does say 2, technically, which you're pretty much topped up. Except for Torgen's Spirit. I'll top that up. And I guess, Glane, you can also take momentum.
I will.
And now you literally can't take anything else. You're done.
I think I can take the +1 if we're going to do a vow of any kind, but I think we decided against that.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit the current story for a vow to be made right now.
It's more of a sub-quest.
Yeah, and it's not really super clear what you would be swearing to do in this case.
Find the missing scouts.
Oh yeah, actually that's not bad. Yeah. You swear that we will find the missing scouts. And that way you would be able to take a +1 on that.
We swear.
Yeah,
I swear we're gonna go try and find these guys.
It's not a, let's see, I'm gonna say that's let's see, it's a little bit dangerous. I'll say it's just troublesome. Where'd they go? We gotta find them. It's troublesome.
Look, there's a chance they're just sleeping under a tree somewhere.
Right. So, since you have sojourned with the community of Greatfield, you do get the ability to get a +1 on this roll. So this will be Heart, which it sounds like this is going to be made by Serene.
Well,
I know,
at least
but
a 2 with the +1.
Yeah, you get a 2 on this. And you've got your momentum in case of emergencies.
In case of emergencies.
Let's see some good rolls. Okay. A weak hit.
Not bad.
Yeah. You are determined, but begin your quest with more questions than answers.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. No momentum to take. Envision what you do to find a path forward. But that does get us the vow. So now we have two vows in this current quest line here. Protecting Greatfield from the mysterious threat, but in order to do that, we're first going to want to find the missing scouts from Greatfield. Which is a troublesome vow, which means that each step of progress will actually get you 3 boxes filled.
Ooh.
So conceivably, you'd have a decent chance of completing the vow at 3 steps of progress. Now, here's the thing. I feel like this is a decent, natural, the ebb and the flow of the story. This feels like a nice, solid spot of where we have a very clear direction of what comes next and might make for an excellent starting point for the next time we play.
True, but we do still have a little bit of time, so maybe we could do the social interaction for everybody and kind of everybody gets to ask questions around town.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. And then we'll start next week with setting out from Greatfield.
Seems logical.
All right, so what kind of stuff is going on in Greatfield that you want to check in on?
Anybody hear about a talking horse? Anybody at all?
Well, at this point, you can ask even more specifically if anybody knows about magical creatures or stuff.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that would kind of benefit us both.
I presume you've talked to Serene at some point about this.
Sure, it was a long walk.
Yeah,
I'd
you
have
guys
something
have
to
been
talk about.
making conversation. Okay, so you kind of want to gather some information.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. So Torgan, what specifically are you looking for?
Gosh, at this point, it's hard to say. I mean, I've just kind of been looking for a name up to this point of just someone who may have I don't know. I've kind of hit a dead end.
May have a piece of information.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, I'm not even sure that my horse is dead.
You're just looking for if anybody's heard the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it sounds like you at least know a little bit about the tales of the centaurs, and that somehow that is related, and sort of the question of where did they all go, and who would want to see them killed, perhaps, anything like that.
Yeah.
We can hash it out later, but we might want to have the conversation between Torgan and Serene roleplayed at some point, just for, since she's a storyteller and just from not around
true.
here.
Yeah.
And collects this sort of information.
Yeah, let's roll back the clock a little bit on the final leg of the trip to Greatfield. While Glane is walking ahead, his shoes still soggy from the river. And meanwhile, Torgan and Serene sort of trailing slightly behind, having their own conversation.
Serene, do you know anything about my horse? Because I understand that you're of some sort of magical background, and now I'm just learning that it wasn't just coincidence that my horse could talk. It turns out that it may have had a magic background of some sort.
Well, elves live longer lives than humans, and generally we have a little bit better record keeping, so stories of magical beasts and like Fae type creatures are a little bit more common amongst my people. I've certainly know many stories of interactions between elves and Fae, and I've heard of centaurs. I know what they are. There's myths about how they can shapeshift and blend in with their different surroundings, and they're usually just depicted as being a very untrusting but very loyal. They're slow to trust, but once you win their trust, they're very loyal creatures. Which some of the tales say that was their undoing. They since they're very magical creatures, they're susceptible to kind of those who would use magic against them. So most Fae are kind of Fae types are very nature magic oriented, and there are other types of magic that are kind of counterintuitive to nature that
Well, I want to share with you something that was shared with me secretly without anyone knowing.
Okay.
It turns out that if this creature were in fact a magical type, that it would actually be quite valuable. And that it's possible that a thief would have wanted to take the horse.
It's possible. Seems... I'm a little skeptical. It would have had to have been someone with very detailed knowledge of magical creatures that's not common amongst humans.
That's true. Would you care to share with me exactly how you met Glane?
I thought he was with you.
I thought he was with you.
We all got hired at the same time.
Oh my. Well, I mean, since he's up ahead and can't exactly hear us, maybe we should keep an eye on Glane.
He does seem to be a little bit on his own, right? Teamwork doesn't seem to be his strong suit.
That's true.
Especially after what you told me about at Woodbreak. He's something of a jerk. Well, that's being polite.
Maybe we'll just keep this to ourselves.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on him. I'm not entirely sure I trust him completely. I don't think he's gonna stab us in the dark or anything, but he might have motives.
He certainly doesn't seem that he would be above theft of magical creatures.
Well, considering he's still wearing those wolf teeth around his neck, and that kind of wolf usually, there's a good 50-50 chance those teeth might be poisonous. I don't think he knows a whole lot about magic. To be honest, he doesn't seem the brightest.
But he does appear to know about money.
Yeah, well, you ever known a sneaky type that didn't?
Shit. I think that's the end of our conversation.
I think so. We've gotten a lot of information here.
I noticed them trailing behind and say, "Try to keep up, lovebirds."
Squish, 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 squish.
Serene flips him the bird.
So it's an elven greeting.
Torgon flipped me on a bird, on a shield.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
This is good. All right. So tonight, you guys were able to learn of some mysterious threat near Greatfield, and now I've gotten a little bit more information on where exactly something might be going on. Something related to the forest north of Greatfield. A few other settlements along the way. What's that?
It's Glane.
Yeah, Glane. Glane is the threat. And now you have found that there are some scouts that were checking the area out that are now missing completely.
Blaine, what did you do?
And so you have sworn upon the very iron, the iron of your whatever iron weapons you have. Iron is very symbolic in the Iron Lands, if you can believe it, and so to swear upon iron is a promise that carries a lot of weight. And so you have sworn to find these missing scouts and hope that with them returned, you might be able to learn more information about this mysterious goings on in the forest to the north. And that's where we're going to pick up next time.
Dragon Ball Z.
Thus concludes episode 3. Now, the quest you've taken on is of the lowest rank. It's only a rank 1 of 5. As such, assuming you do complete it, you will get an extra 1 experience point, which will not be enough to level anything up. So those will definitely be banked once that happens. But Protecting Greatfield is a 3 of 5. So if you can pull that off, that'll pull you up to 4, and you could have a lot more upgrades, maybe even a completely new asset. So again, the advancement is you can spend 2 experience points to fill in 1 bubble on an asset, or you can spend 3 to gain a whole new card of your choice. So
we
keep that in
didn't
mind.
use the XP when we took the other stuff?
It uses it, yes.
Okay.
So you've earned 2 XP, but all of it has been spent already. I don't have a column displayed for how much has been spent, but it has been spent.
Okay. Did Torgan get any points from his conversation with Serene? On his quest inline? It's more contextual information.
Yeah, it just kind of
you didn't get to ask any questions. I'm sorry.
No, it just kind of gives him a little bit more information on some things, but
context.
Yeah, no actual progress on the quest just yet. The mainline quests are going to be fairly slow. That's going to be, basically the entire character arc.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get there.
We've made a lot of progress in 3 episodes.
Sure have. It's impressive, really, when you think about it. Yeah, I mean, team wipe is always a possibility. So thankfully that has not happened. Nobody has died as close as Turtle got on episode 2.
I was very close.
We're still alive.
Blaine wasn't doing well either.
This is true.
That's true.
This is true. Well, and a lot of that was because he ran off without the team. But now we've learned a valuable lesson.
Have we learned, though, we didn't even want to camp next to us,
That's a great point. Maybe he didn't really learn
For safety
anything.
reasons.
Safety
There's
in
safety
numbers.
in numbers, sir.
Don't encourage him too much. Don't want him to slit our throats, after all.
Well, that's true. We are somewhat weird.
Constant worry.
We are at his whim.
Have you ever heard him say where he's from? Or
I
anything
haven't.
about himself?
I've heard very little information. It says he's missing a cat, but never specifically mentioned where he was missing it from or much of his
Do you
background at
know
all.
anything about the cat? I mean, I saw the picture he was handing out. I know he never took art classes, but...
It was making this face kind of like an executor, but sideways a little.
Great face.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yes. Never seen a cat smile so widely.
And now that he's described the cat so much, I've lost any chance of kind of trying to come up with a clever way of making this a sensible quest in this world.
You did a good job correcting mine.
Correcting nothing. I mean, that's just how the cards played out. Like, there's suddenly there's intrigue and there's more than meets the eye here. There's a reason the horse can talk. It all works out. And then for Glaine's quest, we have no. It's literally a cat. It's literally a cat that got carried off by a bird, and so I decided to just pick a direction and travel for days and hope that things work out for the best. It's like I was thinking of all kinds of angles of like, it was a woman named Cat. No. Now it's literally it's canon now. It's literally a cat.
Episode 2, I'm cooking fish to lure it out.
Well,
she really likes fish.
It was hand waveable.
He could still be a magic cat. Maybe it's his familiar or something. Maybe he's a half-breed with something weird we don't know about.
That's still on the table, is that this cat is magical in some way.
I mean, we already got magic pets with the horse. Might as well.
Yeah.
I want a magic pet.
Yeah, well. On the plus side, Turtle's quest has become quite interesting, and I really want to see where it pans out to. I'm very excited to see what happens there.
Mine's the most like traditional tabletop-y, and like.
And to think, I had this planned out all along.
I know. Who knew? Yeah, Turtles has become a very tabletop-y quest. Like inadvertently. Inadvertently, it has become very normal.
That's kind of my intention all along. You know, people think, we're doing a role-playing game of some sort like this. I want to be super strong or I want to be super stealthy. When I filled out my card, I intentionally was like, I'm going to choose the not necessarily lower, but the least likely to be picked things, and I'm going to try to make it work. I'm going to make this a little harder for myself.
Honestly, it fits so well to be like the sort of well-loved, sturdy warrior. Like, it fits so well with the turtle aesthetic. Is that you are the turtle warrior.
Just good fortune.
With your mighty turtle shield.
Is it a wooden shield, or is it actually made out of a giant tortoise shell?
Oh, we've never mentioned, so who knows? As long as we never mention, it could be anything. That's the trick. As soon as you confirm something.
What is it?
We never got to have any input on what our names are. We showed up and they were just on the screen. And is it...
Actually, you missed that conversation.
I was just saying you weren't around, actually.
Oh, really?
I got asked, "Is this okay?" And I was, "Yeah, I like that."
That was from the random table.
And you think about when you look at them and you think about random fantasy things. My name is the one that more fits a villain's name.
Yeah,
that's true. You're like Glenn Quagmire. Glenn Quagmire. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, mine's a very typical elf name.
Mine sounds like a turtle's name.
It does.
Torgan, Tortuga, Turtle.
Torgan the tortoise.
Everybody's name just fits very well.
And I mean, she's a bard, and serene and storytelling. It all works together.
Yeah.
And Glane is like Glane GQ. It's kind of
Glane cute.
Glane cute. Perfect.
Blame it on the Glane.
Up to this point, we really can't. For the most part.
Yeah. If we ever have to roll up new characters for any reason, then you can of course pick your own names. Hopefully, it never comes to that. Hopefully these characters survive long enough. Actually, there is a move. There is a move that we haven't done, and we will not do for a long time. Did I even put this in the? I did. Write your epilogue.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, so this is when you decide that, like, okay, this character's done. They've fulfilled everything they wanted to do. We're done with this character. This is sort of the retirement move. And here's the interesting thing. This is the only time that bonds, the number of bonds you have, comes in mechanically. Instead of rolling against progress, you roll against your number of bonds.
Can that happen before the end of the campaign?
Ooh.
Like if we're on our mission and like he finds his horse, but we're not done.
Well, presumably
the
he'd
horse joins the
continue
party.
adventuring. Yeah.
Then then it's Final Fantasy rules.
Yeah. This is write your
Centaur
epilogue
joined the
is
party.
more of the move of like, okay, the movie is over, but we want to know, was there, what's the post credits implication? Is it that everything is good, or everything's not necessarily as good as we hoped?
I just want to point out, and this is breaking perhaps, but when we didn't do Left 4 Dead anymore, this like has so many similarities. Like it's hard to deny the type of gameplay this is very similar. There was, when they did Left 4 Dead, they gave them like backstories, they gave them alliances.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's storytelling 101.
Like that just means that was probably a really great game.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, I mean the idea that the actual mechanics of a game directly correlate with the way that they want the players to feel. They want them to work together towards a common goal. Like Left 4 Dead enforces that, because if you get hit with a certain attack, you literally are out of the game unless a teammate can help.
And I recently discovered that there's a randomizer for Left 4 Dead that auto-generates maps. And you can custom build Left 4 Dead maps.
Oh man, there needs to be a crowd control for Left 4 Dead.
Oh, please no.
Oh man. Boomer, boomer, boomer. Witch.
Horse.
Tank.
Horse.
Tank isn't even playing. Why are all the witches attacking Tank? He's not even here.
Oh, poor Tank. He can't escape. All right.
He's not even here to defend himself.
I'm gonna end the stream. We can keep chatting, but thank you anybody who's viewing. Thank you. Goodbye.